Salaki, I was on mute. First and foremost, I want to say call halal abanaw Yahweh by Shem Wamalak Yahweh. That is to say, all praises to our Father in heaven. Yahweh is his name, right? And in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahweh Shai in the Paleo Hebrew, right? So there's a lot going on in this world right now, right? There's a lot of things that's trying to deter us, right, in our faith and in our obedience unto the Father, right? Bills are coming through, right, like never before. Food is costing more, gas is getting strenuous, right? Multiple children, have needs. You feel what I'm saying? All these different things is plaguing us right now. You feel what I'm saying? Money is getting scarce, right? So we absolutely have to stay 10 toes down, man, in this thing, right? And keep our focus, man. Right? Hold on right quick. Amazon package showed up. All right, back like I never left. Had to go get my voltage meter. Got to order one of those to be a good tech, right? So got this back. All right. So like I was saying, man, times is getting hard right now. A lot of people is backing out of the fight. Some of our people, even me, man, the thought in my head telling me to go to work today. You feel what I'm saying? And because bills is piling up, right? Things is not seeming like I'm gonna be able to overcome or get my head above water, right? But I gotta remember, I can't put trust in myself. I gotta put trust. Sorry about that. My mom don't understand when things are happening not to call. Right. So, but you have to keep in mind, man, that we can't trust in ourselves. Right. We have to trust in the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? So, let me get this right quick, just so y'all can have it in y'all arsenal. I love this Bible verse right here. Let me see what I want. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse number 8. It says, "It's better to trust in Yahweh than to depend on people. It is better to trust in Yahweh than to depend on human leaders." Right. This even goes in the KJV. It says it's better to put your trust in the Lord than to put your trust in man, right? Meaning mankind. So meaning yourself, right? It's better to put your trust in the Lord than to put your trust in you, because you, right, will get you all jammed up, right? You think it's okay, and you can use mercy to do this, that, and the third, right? But God say there is no mercy for willing sin, right? But we see that the Lord do forgive some brothers that commit willing sin. But if you do it repetitiously, right, then hey, you're a sinner again, right? Now you got a lot more to clean off of your hands. So I know that we all dealing with, things plaguing our mind, telling us that, it's okay to work on that Sabbath day, right? It's okay. You need the money, right? It's okay to use that brother, use that sister, and sell them something that you know is not worth it, right? For so much a price. Well, it's okay. It's okay to go back to selling drugs, right? Or tricking, right? Or being tricked. You feel what I'm saying? It's okay. No, it's not okay, right? It's not okay, right? The Lord has commanded us to be obedient, and we got to trust in Him through all our endeavors, right? Whether we're doing good or whether we're doing bad, right? As in, money, financial, right, state of mind, whatever, we have to trust in the Lord, man. Right. So I want to read this chapter, man, chapter 4 of Nehemiah, right? Because we see the persistence of Nehemiah, right? And some of us, we might be having like business adventures, right? To where you trying to get your business off the ground, and the Lord is sending you trials and tribulations to see how bad you actually want it, right? As in me, I got a business venture, right, that I was trying to start up, and I ended up taking a hit, right? And now I got another business adventure that will work, right? But it's gonna take some time and persistence, right? Which us as black folks, Israelites, we don't like that, right? It don't matter what type of Israelite you is, right? What tribe you come from, right? We don't like things that develop over time. We like that microwave thing because that's what this hypnotical society, right, has taught us and put into our brain, right? But it's up to us to correct our brain and become a business, right, adventurer, right? To actually like put forth our best effort to own our own things, right? So I want to talk about this in Nehemiah right quick. So quick backstory: Nehemiah was a steward of wine, right, for Artaxerxes in Persia around 464 or 465 BC, right? So he served his master, right, with a smile on his face. So it was very rare that he was angry, right, or upset or sad, So he comes to his quote unquote master Artaxerxes, and he said he's pouring him his wine, and Artaxerxes like, hey, you know what's wrong? Your countenance, you usually happy when you serve me. What's going on? He said, may you live on forever, master, right? Your majesty. Right. And he tells him what's happening, man. My city is destroyed, man. Jerusalem is destroyed, and no one is over there to build it up. If you would allow me, can I please go and start building up Jerusalem again, right? The temple, things like that. And he gave him the go ahead. Yeah, you could go. And Nehemiah said what? He was like, hey, before I leave, go ahead, write me a written letter letting them know that it's good for me to travel this road, right? Boom, boom, boom. He got the okay, right? And then now here we are, right? And in his building, right, in his building back the walls, of Jerusalem, he had ridicule from people, right, of the other nations, right? A guy from Moab, right, and a guy from Arabia. He was an Arabianite, right? And these two guys, right, was ridiculing them. And that's what we're going to talk about. Because when you go to grow, right, whether it be in the truth or whether it be in business, when you go to grow, you're going to have people that ridicule you, that think it's not possible, and going to try to put their belief on you, you know. They're going to try to add stress into your life instead of take stress off, right? So you're gonna see this, right, when you come into this truth and you start practicing these laws, statutes, and commandments, and when you're opening your own business, right, you're gonna see these things. People are gonna ridicule you and tell you it ain't possible or you stupid for following these commandments, right? But let's stay locked in, right? Let's stay on the street, pressing forward to the mark of what? The mark of your business being successful and the mark of that Yahweh got in store for us, our reward that's bathed in heaven, right? So this is Nehemiah chapter 4 in the GNT, verse 1. When Sanballat heard that the Jews had begun to rebuild the wall, he became furious and began to ridicule us in front of his companions and the Samaritan troops. He said, what do these miserable Jews think they're doing, right? And that's what they ask us here today. What, y'all all beat down and bust up and broken and disgusted? Like y'all out here, none of y'all ain't got millions. None of y'all ain't got don't have $100,000 saved up and pop, 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 right? They're ridiculing us, right? Out here on the street. Same thing they was doing to Nehemiah and the brothers that his companions that came to build the wall, right? And he said in front of his companions, verse 2, right? The Samaritan troops, he said, what do these miserable Jews think they're doing? Do they intend to rebuild the city, do they think that by offering sacrifices they can finish the work in one day, right? Can they make building stones out of heaps of burnt rubble, right? So just the same way as they ask us, how are you going to start a business, right? Israelite man, Israelite woman, right? Isn't your credit score 400 below, right? Isn't your doesn't your bank account say in the negatives, right? Isn't your bills due, right? How are you going to build something out of this stubble? How are you going to come up and excel right next to or above your enemy? How are you gonna do it, right? And it's asking, do they think that they just by sacrificing animals into the Lord, right? They're gonna be able to build this in one day? It's because we was building so fast, it seemed like we was trying to get it done in a day. But no, we was making persistent and concise achievements and decisions, right, to where it made us move as good as a unit, right? And we got to bring that unity back so we can move good as a unit again, right? Because when we read in the book of Ecclesiastes, it shows us that it's better to be in a team building something, whether it be a business or the kingdom of God. It's better to be in a team than be on your own, right? Because sometimes you ain't gonna feel like it, and you need somebody else to reassure you, right? Sometimes your brother or your sister that's building with you is not gonna feel like it, right? But they need some reassurance from you that they could do it, that we could do it, right? So back onto the point, verse 3. Tobiah was standing there beside him, and he added, "What kind of wall could they ever build? Even a fox could knock it down," right? Because we building out of things that they burnt down already, right? And we're making new things, but we're building back the wall out of things that are burnt down already. So he's saying even a fox can knock it down. I prayed. I prayed. So now Nehemiah is saying, I prayed. Hear how they make fun of us, O Yahweh. Let their ridicule fall on their own heads. Let them be robbed of everything they have, and let them be taken as prisoners unto a foreign land. Don't forgive the evil that they do, and don't forgive their sin, for they have insulted us who are building. So we went on rebuilding the wall, and soon, soon it was half its full height because the people were eager to work, right? So you have to have a drive and a drive and a thriving, a passion, right, to work and do this work, whether it be for the kingdom or whether it be for your own business, right? Even whether it be for the people that you work for, the company that you work for them with a smile, right, like Joseph did, and become the best at your craft, and then branch off and own your own thing, man. Right? It's not easy. It's fairly hard. We just have to learn how to correct our brain to take the good with the bad and then overcome the bad with the good, right? If you spiritual enough to understand that, right? So it says because the people were eager to work, and you have to be eager to work, man. You have to be eager to work for the kingdom. You got to be eager to work for your business, man, and what you're trying to accomplish, right? All goals start brick by brick, just like this wall that Nehemiah and the other Israelites is building. Brick by brick, you gotta conquer and access your goals, right? Same way, and you gotta do that for a period of time to reach success, right? And then somebody might come and kick a brick down, man. Maybe rainy days might come, man, right? But as soon as it stops, and soon as that brick hit the ground, you pick it up and you put it back on the wall, right? Soon as that rain stops, you get right back to work, man, right? Because the people were eager to work, Sambalat, Tobiah, and the people of Arabia and Ammon and Ashdod heard that we were making progress in rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem, and they gasped and Salakia, rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem, and that the gaps in the wall were being closed, and they became very angry. So they plotted together to come and attack Jerusalem and create confusion. But we prayed unto Elohim and kept men on guard against them day and night. The people of Judah had a song they sang. We grow weak carrying burdens. There's so much rubble to take away. How can we rebuild the wall today? Our enemies thought we would not see them or know what was happening until they were already upon us, killing us, killing us and putting an end to our work. But time after time the Jews were were living among their enemies, came to warn us of the plans our enemies were making against us. So I armed the people with swords and spears and bows and stationed them by clans beyond the wall. Wherever it was still unfinished, I saw the people were worried. So I said unto them, unto their leaders and officials, don't be afraid of our enemies. Remember how great and terrifying the Lord is, Yahweh, and fight for your relatives, your children, and your wives and your homes. Right? So we see that in affliction and in the notice, right, of okay, there's trying situations coming, right? There's affliction arising, right? There's things that's about to try to deter us from a goal that we're trying to accomplish, right? We see this happening, and what did Nehemiah, a mighty man of God, do? He said, "Look, where there is a will, there is a way. Let's get down, pray to the Lord, and set up people to guard us from our enemies." Right? So you got thoughts in your brain that's trying to take you away from this truth, right? And bring you into another way of living that's not beneficial unto the Lord thy God, Yahweh your power, right? And make his name great. You got people trying to deter you from that, right? But the Lord is telling you to make a defense, right? Make a defense, strengthen your brain, right? Strengthen your walls, man. Right? Put men on guard, man. On each north, east, south and west, man. Put men on guard, man, to watch these evil thoughts trying to tell you to go back into the world, trying to tell you to get off a course, right? You gotta put a pin in that, man, right? How? By correcting your thoughts, right? And when it comes to your businesses, right, or you trying to excel in your company, always remember that there's gonna come trial and times, man. The Lord gonna see you working, just like Satan gonna see you working, and Satan gonna come to the Lord and say, "Hey, let me try him and see if he really want this," right? And the Lord gonna say, "Okay," and then the Most High is gonna take you out of all those situations and say, "See, I told you he was worthy of the gift that I'm about to give him." And then your business is now running, or you're now successful in whatever venture that you're trying to excel at, right? So, regardless if it's the truth that you use in the scriptures for, or your business adventures, as long as you're being obedient unto the Lord thy God, you should prosper, man. Right? The Lord commands us, man, to prove him and try him, just like he proves and tries us, man. He want to see if we really love him, or if we really want him to move on our behalf. We need to show him that we really love him and that we are moving on his behalf, man. Right? It's a give and take relationship. So we're gonna keep reading. It says, so Nehemiah stationed them. We on verse 13. So Nehemiah stationed them by plans behind the wall, wherever it was still unfinished. Right. I saw that the people were worried, so I said unto them, and to their leaders and officials, don't be afraid of our enemies. Remember how great and terrifying Yahweh is, and fight for your relatives, your children, your wives, and your home. Right? So when we go into business, that's what we're fighting for. When we keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, that's who and what we're fighting for, man. What is that? Our wives, our children, our homes, man. Right? Remember what you're doing for. Like who you doing it for, what you doing it for. Remember, don't forget. Because when you forget, you stop pushing forward, man. When trials and tribulations hit, you throw up the towel, right? We don't have no time to throw in the towel. We don't know when this world is we don't know when World War III is gonna pop off. It's looking like it's soon. right? But we don't know. It could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 20. But we need to make sure as a people that our families are set up when we leave, man, right? So they don't have to go through the same trials, tribulations, and struggles that we have to go through, right? And then as well, they're able to help the other brothers and sisters that's coming into this truth, man, claiming to be Israelites, walk of Israelites, and keeping the faith and the trust in the Lord and obedience to where we could gain the salvation. Maybe not in our generation, in the next to come, whatever, but let's have them more comfortable, right, when it comes to money than us, right? So it's less worrisome on them. If it be the Lord's will, right? Always remember that. If it's the Lord's will, He's gonna make it happen. If it's not, it's just not gonna happen, right? But it doesn't hurt to try. And we see that towards success, Nehemiah and the other brothers and sisters that was building, right, they did their best, man. Do your best, right, to be to gain a little bit more in this lifestyle, man, in this life that we live, man. Do your best to overcome sin, man. Do your best, your absolute best, man. Right? When you continue to read in this, it said that they started to just work, right? One hand with a garden tool or with some type of tool, right? And the other hand, they had a weapon, right? And every man that worked, if they didn't have that garden tool, I mean that weapon, they had a sword on their side, right? So always be prepared for adversity. It's gonna come. Stack some money, put it to the side, because adversity will come, right? And just like how I'm talking to y'all, man, I'm talking to me, man. We always gotta be prepared for the adversary because he will come. It's not a matter of if, right? It's a matter of when, right? But if we're obedient, the Lord will shield us or bring us out of that affliction, right? Or shield us from the affliction or bring us out of the affliction. Whatever which one I'm happy with, right? Verse 16 or verse 15. Our enemies heard that uh we have found out what they were plotting. And remember, this is still a song, right? We found out what they were plotting, and they realized that Alahayim had defeated their plan. Then all of us went back to rebuilding the wall. From then on, half of the men worked worked and half of the men stood guard, wearing their coats of armor and armed with spears and shields and bows. And our leaders gave their full support to the people who were rebuilding the wall. Even those who carry building materials worked worked with one hand and kept a weapon in the other. And everyone who was building kept a sword strapped to their waist. The man who was to sound the alarm on the bugle stayed with me. I told the people and their officials and leaders. And remember, there's always a warning sign that things are about to happen, right? Sometimes they're not, and they just pop off, and then the Lord gonna give you, most high willing, right? Yahweh willing, the Lord give you the tenacity, right, and the willpower to get through the situation, right, that He's about to put you through. But there's a lot of time, most of the time, there's a warning sign, man. Right? There's things that we miss, right, that come to bite us in the butt later. Right? And we need to make sure that we stay prudent and foresee the evil that's coming our way. And like I said, I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself, right? And their officials and leaders, the work is spread out over such a distance that we are widely separated from one another on the wall. If you hear the bugle, right, or the shofar or the trumpet, gather around me. Our power, Yahweh, will fight for us. So every day from dawn until the stars came out at night, half of us worked on the wall while the other half stood guard with the spear. During this time, I told the men in charge that they and all their helpers had to stay in Jerusalem at night so that we could guard the city at night as well as work in the daytime. I didn't take off my clothes even at night, neither did any of my companions, nor my servants, nor my bodyguards. And we all kept our weapons in our hand, right? So remember, man, that while you're building, stay focused because trial and error is gonna come, right? Keep your guard up. Focus on the mistakes that you did, right? And guard yourself that you never make these mistakes again, whether it be in business or whether it be in the truth, right? First and foremost, always be obedient and keep your guard up from sin, man. Right? Try your best not to sin. Because if you sinning, the Lord will not let your hand prosper. He will always make you fall down. Right? So with that, I want to give all honor and praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Right? I want to say, Kwam Yashala. Stay strong, family, and Shalom.